For today's video, we are going to show you how to cook direct and indirect on our Weber grill. So first things first, let's get in here and talk about what we're cooking and why we're cooking it direct versus indirect. And then we're going to head out on the grill and show you how to get it done. When it comes to cooking direct, I'm going to use chicken as the perfect example today. Now, number one, I'm going to be cooking directly over the flame or right over my heat source. Number two, I'm obviously using smaller cuts of protein, whether that's chicken, pork, or steaks. Number three, I'm going to be cooking at a higher temperature today for those quick cook foods, right? Those smaller cuts of protein. Number four, I'm going to get great color on here. I'm going to get a really nice sear and I'm going to get a really good crust. And then number five, I'm going to get those perfect, amazing grill marks. We'll go ahead and open our grill now as we get ready to cook direct today. I'm going to go ahead and turn these three burners on here, really activating kind of that sear zone. If you don't have a sear zone, don't worry about it. Turn on all three of your main burners and that'll give you that direct temperature. So today we're going to be cooking direct, right over the flame, right over that sear zone at 450 degrees. So we'll close the grill, let it warm up, come back, time to cook some chicken. Grill is all preheated. Our chicken is seasoned and it is time to go. So I'm going to carefully lay that chicken right there over that direct heat. And then I'm getting myself set up for those grill marks. So what I'll do is kind of give that just a little push, kind of set that chicken in there. I've got it oiled, seasoned, set and ready to go. We'll leave it alone and let it cook. Come back and I'll show you how we create those diamond marks. All right, here we are right after just a couple minutes. Look at that. We've already developed those beautiful start to our grill mark. So we'll go ahead and lift that chicken up. We'll rotate it, push it down just a little bit again so we get that beautiful, beautiful grill mark. And then we are set to go. So now I'm going to go ahead and finish this. Total cooking time when you're cooking direct is going to be very, very fast because we're cooking those smaller cuts of meat. Well, here we are right after 6 minutes. Look at that. Time to flip. And I'll tell you what, not bad for grill marks, huh? So we'll go ahead now, cook these the rest of the way. That is the beauty of direct cooking. Hot, fast, beautiful grill marks giving us juicy, delicious chicken. Now, when it comes to cooking indirect, I'm going to go ahead and use a whole chicken as my example today. Now, indirect, number one, I'm going to be cooking adjacent or kind of away from the flame or away from the heat source. Number two, like you can see here, I'm using a larger cut of protein, whole chickens, pork loins, whole turkeys, beef roast, etc. Number three, I'm going to be cooking at a lower temperature, kind of giving me some of those low and slow cooking foods, or maybe even into barbecuing as well. Number four, I'm going to be using foods that are a little bit more delicate that won't take that hot and fast cooking so well, like chickens, fish, seafood, some other things as well. And then number five, this is a great time when you're cooking indirect to add a little bit of wood to get some of that smoke flavor as well. Okay, you can see we've got the chicken loaded in here. I'm going to go ahead and add my Weber Connect probe real quick, but you'll notice these burners are off, so I am not directly over the heat. I am now cooking indirect using this burner to keep that temperature right at 350 degrees. Now, let's say it's cold and windy outside. You may need to turn this burner on to bump your temperature up a little bit to keep it right at that 350. If you do, move your chicken over, but right now we are good to go. So we'll go ahead and close it. I'm going to let the Weber Connect do its thing. I'll track it. I'll probably come back and check on this when we hit 100 degrees. Okay, let's take a look at this. Here we are right at 105 degrees. Looks absolutely amazing. And you can see we had to make a little adjustment. That's right, a little bit cold and windy here today. So I did have to turn this burner on a little bit just to keep that temperature right at 350 degrees. And then we moved the chicken right into the middle, still keeping it indirect, but we're keeping the grill at 350. Nice and low, nice and slow, super juicy. Well, here we are right after an hour and a half of cook time with indirect heat. We are done. We reached 165 degrees. That chicken looks absolutely exceptional. Let's head back in the kitchen. Well, there you have it. Two great cooking methods on one amazing grill. And if you're looking for another way to use that indirect cooking method, be sure to check out our rotisserie skewers video. That is coming up next.